Good day, everyone!
I am Mary Jean Arbulado.
I am Christine Bandigas.
I am Merlinda Binondo.
And I am Ara Ehed. Impact of COVID-19 on the academic performance of the grade 7 students of Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center.
Introduction. At present, there are major changes being implemented in our education system as a reinforcement method to cope with the distressing problem brought by the impact of COVID-19 pandemic that affects the academic performance of the students, which is used in different content and learning areas across the curriculum. Coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic triggers many issues concerning the risk of sickness, death, and many more. It affects many sectors in economy and drastically changes the human lifestyle that restricts individuals from moving. One of the sectors that were greatly affected by the pandemic is the field of education. Because of this pandemic, there is new platform which is online class puts students at the center of the teaching learning process as they become responsible for their own learning while exploring the material autonomously. Docker 1972 contended that modular instructions catered to the individual learning differences so that learners are prompted to actively participate in determining what they need to learn. As a result, because of COVID-19, it affects the academic performance of the students and it enables the students to play an active role in the learning process as they are given the opportunity to make decisions based on their prior knowledge and current understanding of the course content. By examining some of the more notable changes in the area of education, educators are propelled to recognize the progress of distance education and make pedagogical decisions based on the most recent, up-to-date research. In such, this research study aims to assess the impact of COVID-19 on the academic performance of the students. Statement of the problem. This study aims to assess the impact of COVID-19 on the academic performance of the students of Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center. Purpose of the study. This descriptive research will provide systematic information regarding on the impact of COVID-19 on the academic performance of the students of Bayawan City Science Education Center. It will recommend critical strategies that can enhance independent learning and student participation. This study will help the administrator plan the most appropriate teaching techniques to help the students grow and develop at their own pace. It will also guide them in developing educational materials that are relevant. It will aid the instructors to determine if the students have the prerequisite knowledge and skills needed to answer the module's assessments. It will guide them in the evaluating students' learning and giving feedback and insights that can help improve their performance. Meanwhile, since it is online, it will help the students develop self-sustained understanding, stimulate their critical thinking, and allow them to review their progress. Lastly, the researchers of this study will have a broader accessibility regarding on the present educational scenario of the chosen university. Theoretical background of the study. This study grounds its point of departure on the underlying principle of discovery learning, which was introduced by Jerome Bruner, 1961, as a method of inquiry-based instruction. This concept espouses the idea that students construct their knowledge and understanding of the world by organizing and categorizing information using a coding system. The conceptual framework of the study. The conceptual framework of this study consists of the independent and dependent variables along with the intervening variables. The researcher manipulates the independent variable, which is the academic performance, in order to assess its impact to the dependent variable, which is the COVID-19. Moreover, the intervening variable, which is the respondent's profile, will help explain the relationship between these two variables. Significance of the study. This research endeavor will be undertaken with the aim that it will give the beneficiaries a clear vision on the advantages and disadvantages of the online class. The findings of this study will be the most beneficial to the following sectors of the community. This study provides schools an insight into the extent to which faculty is utilizing quality online practices in their online learning environments as defined by a comprehensive literature review. For teachers, this study would guide the teachers to be more considerate on the availability of internet to students and the problems they are facing. For students, this study will serve as their guide on dealing problems related to online class, such as finding the best educational tool that were user-friendly, which suits to their needs, and it also gives insights on how to boost motivation and self-esteem of students on online class. For parents, the result of the study will enlighten parents on the impacts of online class to his or her children. The study provides parents on awareness and solution of the possible problems that may arise during the online class. Scope and delimitation. This investigation conducted to evaluate the impacts of COVID-19 on the academic performance as perceived by the grade 7 students of Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center. This study is undertaken during the school year 2021-2022. Limitation. The research study limits on the grade 7 students of Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center. The respondents' population will be 49 in total, and this project shall not cater to any other school premises. The study will employ the random sampling technique through the use of survey questionnaire.
So now, let's proceed to Chapter 2. Review of related literature. Related legal basis. Republic Act Number 10650, known as the Open Distance Learning Act, defines as an act expanding access to educational services by institutionalizing open distance learning in levels of tertiary education and appropriating funds therefore. It is the foregoing mode of learning in which students and teachers separated from each other. Student-centered, guided,
independent study, making sure of well-studied teaching, and learning pedagogies to deliver well-designed learning materials in various media. In other words, distance learning, sometimes described as flexible learning and distributed learning. Related literature. Students' perception of an online class, of pedagogical characteristics of online class, frequency of use of certain online technologies, quality and reliability of the online course delivery system, number of online classes the students had taken, and speed of internet connection were significantly correlated with preferences for online class. The authors suggest how these online features should be implemented to improve current online course delivery system. Related studies. Local. The effect of e-learning on the skills and attitudes of students by Jonathan Caballero. The study was undertaken in order to seek information regarding on what are the impacts of e-learning on the skills and attitudes of the students. This study presents that e-learning effect was minimal on some factors, represented as weak negative association to little or no association. This showed that performance of the students as far as attitude is concerned was light association to the factor that some students do not like long reading when using the online or the computer during online class. Foreign. Nguyen Toan. The effectiveness of online learning beyond no significant difference and future horizons. This study examines the evidence of the effectiveness of online learning by organizing and summarizing the findings and challenges of online learning into positive, mixed, and null findings. Particular attention is paid to the meta-analysis on the effectiveness of online learning, the heterogeneous outcomes of student learning, and endogenous issue of learning environment choice. This study shows that there is strong evidence to suggest that online learning is at least as effective as the traditional format, but the evidence is by no means conclusive.
Let's proceed to Chapter 3, Research Methodology. This chapter discusses the research design and sampling procedures that will be used, the respondents that will be involved, and the data collections technique that will be employed. Respondents. The respondents of this study will be the grade 7 students come from Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center. From the estimated population size of 74, a sample size of 49, the research design. The research study employs the quantitative research. This study will undergo a systematic investigation of phenomena by gathering quantifiable data and performing statistical, mathematical, and computational techniques. The research collects information from existing potential respondents using a sampling methods and sending outline survey through questionnaire via Google, from the results of which we can depict in the form of numerical. The research instrument. The research will be used as a standardized questionnaire and an adapted questionnaire to gather the needed data. The data needed for the study will be gathered using structured questionnaire, which has fewer discrepancy, easy to administer consistency in answer, and were easy for the data management. It utilizes the restricted questions, also called close-ended, which were the ones that asked the respondent to make choices through Likert scale. This can be written as SA, strongly agree 4 points, A or agree 3 points, D or disagree 2 points, and SD strongly disagree 1. Data gathering procedures. The questionnaires were administered on January 11, 2022. The retrieval of the questionnaire was done after 1 week of being administered. The retrieval of questionnaire was 49 of the total population. Weighted mean was used to determine how the perception of the students on Bayawan Science Technology Education Center implementation program affects the students' performance. The formula of weighted mean where XW is equal the weighted mean, X is equal the variable, W is equal to weighted attached to the variable, X is equal to sum of all the products of F and the X, where F is the frequency of each weighted mean and X is the weight.
Chapter 4, Data Analysis and Research Results. Students' Profile. Table 1.2, Age. As indicated in the Table 1.2, 1 or 2%, the respondents are 11 years old. 38 or 77.6%, the respondents are 12 years old. And 10 or 20.4%, the respondents are 13 years old. Table 1.3, Gender. The Table 1.3 shows that 16 or 32.7%, the respondents are male, and 33 or 67.3%, the respondents are female. The data clearly shows that the majority of the respondents are female. Table 1.4, Gadget Use for Online. Table 1.4 shows that 23 or 47.9 they use mobile phone, 15 or 31.3% they use laptop, and 11 or 20.8 they use computer or tablet. Table 1.5, Types of Connectivity. The Table 1.5, 30 or 61.2, the respondents has high connectivity. 18 or 36.7, the respondents has low connectivity. And there are only 1 students who don't have connectivity. 2.1, Construction of Knowledge and Understanding. Weighted mean, 0.18, percentage, 18.4%, descriptor, strongly agree. Weighted mean, 0.61, percentage, 61.2%, descriptor, agree. Weighted mean, 0.20, percentage, 20.4%, descriptor, neutral. Table 2.1 shows that the majority of the respondents response agree. 2.2, Exploration of the Materials. Weighted mean, 0.12, percentage, 12.2%, descriptor, strongly agree. Weighted mean, 0.55, percentage, 55.1%, descriptor, agree. Weighted mean, 0.29, percentage, 28.6%, descriptor, neutral. Weighted mean, 0.04, and the descriptor is disagree. Table 2.2 shows that the majority of the respondents response agree. 2.3, Forming connections between prior knowledge and existing learning. Weighted mean of 0.10, percentage, 10.2%, descriptor, strongly agree. Weighted mean of 0.78, percentage, 77.6%, descriptor, agree. Weighted mean of 0.12, percentage, 12.2%, descriptor, neutral. The table 2.3 shows that the majority of the respondents response agree. 2.4, During virtual or online class, trouble expressing myself to my teachers. Weighted mean, 0.08, percentage, 8.2%, descriptor, strongly agree. Weighted mean of 0.29, percentage, 28.6%, descriptor, agree. Weighted mean of 0.39, percentage, 38.8%, and descriptor is neutral. Weighted mean of 0.18, percentage of 18.4%, descriptor, disagree. Weighted mean of 0.06, percentage 6.1%, descriptor strongly disagree. The table 2.4 shows that the majority of the respondents responds neutral. 2.5 Participation of students in online classes. Weighted mean of 0.29, percentage of 29.2%, descriptor strongly agree. Weighted mean of 0.59, percentage of 60.4%, descriptor is agree. Weighted mean of 0.10, percentage of 10.4%, descriptor neutral. The table 2.5 shows that the majority of the respondents responds agree. Chapter 5 Summary of Findings, Conclusions, and Recommendations. This chapter deals with a summary of the findings and the discussion of the results, the conclusion, and recommendation. The purpose of this study is to provide an accurate and informative information about the impact of COVID-19 on the academic performance of the students of Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center. Hypothesis purpose is to find out that there is no significant relationship between students' academic performance and online class. Descriptive research design implies the survey questionnaire that collects data that administered to the respondents through Google Forms. The respondents who took the survey come from the grade 7 students in Bayawan City Science Technology Education Center.
So that's all. Thank you for watching and listening.